We're back here in Guy Gibbs Gymnasium. We apologize for the technical difficulties.
And folks, welcome to tonight's broadcast. We apologize for missing the first 5 minutes, but we're here now. I'm Jake Leonard with Tommy Rains. Right now, Grandview is up 11-9 on the Regis Jesuit Raiders. We have a capacity crowd here at Guy Gibbs Gymnasium. People are being turned away. This is an impressive environment, Tommy.
It is, Jake, and the rivalry is certainly there with the schools being so close. It's great to see a good start by both teams.
It's the Parker Road rivalry, Tommy. And
it is.
A total of 10 players in this game have gone through Randy Perkins' basketball training program, so these kids know each other very well.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. And you can just look at the crowd right now, and they were early on competing to see who could cheer the loudest with the Seven Nation Army, and so it's a really fun environment here.
Grandview's student section is being pretty hostile towards Josh Perkins. I wouldn't expect anything less. Tommy, as we've both there was a big article in the Denver Post about Josh Perkins that basically said how crucial he is to the team and how really without him the Raiders are nothing.
Yeah, they raved about him, and I don't blame him. He certainly is the most valuable asset to this team this year.
And we just spoke to his father, Randy, before the game, and he's gotten over 30 scholarship offers from D1 schools, and including big names, a lot of interest from Duke, Kansas, elite basketball programs.
Yeah, he's really setting a legacy for Colorado basketball. In fact, I believe he's the most recruited basketball player from Colorado of all time, at least.
So Perkins right there tried to throw it off Tanner Gentry to go out of bounds, but it'll stay Wolves basketball. Gentry going to try to get it in, and that is a foul on Zach Smith. Not sure what that was. But, Tommy, another interesting thing we should touch on is the size advantage that Grandview has tonight.
Yeah, they are enormous, Jake. Two of their players really strike me as just towering over Regis's defense.
And that is Imam there powering through Elijah Sanford. And that's what we're saying, Tommy. I mean, we're pretty short ourselves, 5'7"-ish. But, I mean, these Wolves players are like 6'7", 6'8", and Regis is not a tall basketball team.
No, but they can fight under pressure, as we saw last week against Cherokee Trail. They had a very tall senior, but it's not how tall you are, it's how tall you play, and they fought hard.
There's Josh Perkins making some moves around Tanner Gentry. No look to Stemper, out to Curiozzi now. Curiozzi back to Stemper. Stemper's going to drive it in, goes to the bucket. He will not bank it, but he's fouled.
And Eric Stemper, he's one of the more consistent players on this team. He's got a 61% rate when it comes to shooting, so that's a pretty good stat for him to have.
That is a great stat, Tommy. And so often we've seen the Raiders really have a lot of free throw trouble late in games. A couple weeks ago against Cherokee Trail, the Raiders really sputtered in crunch time. Perkins missed a couple big free throws, but this is a big opportunity for Regis to make a marquee statement against the number 2 team in the Max Preps Colorado poll.
Absolutely, Jake. And looking at our top player, Josh Perkins, he's got 70% behind the line, and Garcia for Grandview has got 91%, so that's a pretty big difference.
And the attempt by Imam, the huge 6'7" junior for the Wolves, does not fall. There's Stemper now in to Zach Smith. Zach Smith out to Perkins to set this up. Perkins takes a 3 from downtown off the iron.
Regis down by 1 with 55 seconds left in this first quarter.
And I'd say so far the Raiders have done pretty well. And right now with the ball is number 23, Jared Burr. Burr played a lot in the junior varsity game right before this.
And I believe, Jake, he fouled out in that game. So it'll be interesting to see how his intensity plays in it.
And that is going to be ruled a charge on Josh Perkins. That's unbelievable.
Oh,
wow.
Wow. The Regis players are in disbelief, and the crowd on Grandview's side is going ballistic.
These folks here in Guy Gibbs Gymnasium are livid. That was a very, very controversial call by the referees. And that's a technical foul on the Regis Jesuit Raiders. Somebody on the team
jeez.
could not shut their mouth, and now Grandview has an opportunity to put an exclamation mark on that lucky turn of events. I have to be honest, Tommy, that was an awful call.
Yeah, well, I didn't see who that technical foul was on. It might have been on our coach. He's the referee is talking to Coach Shaw, but you never want to see a technical foul. We don't want to get emotional. We don't want to get personal.
Still, though, I have to say the original charge call on Perkins was absolutely incorrect. He was not charging, and the Grandview defender did not have his feet set. There really wasn't even that much contact, but Perkins has a target on his back, Tommy, and
yeah, well, he certainly does, and he's the king of driving and drawing the foul, but he got unlucky there, and Stripes knew what he saw.
And absolutely, Tommy, we just saw Coach Shaw is usually a very reserved, mature coach on the sidelines and doesn't get too passionate, but when he does, as he was a couple minutes ago, you will see it and notice it. And there's a 3 drained by Jamison Cussworth, the 6'5 senior.
That'll make it a 5-point difference tonight with 16 seconds left in the first quarter.
Here's Sampson now driving, passing to Elijah Sanford. Josh Perkins is not on the floor. Sampson, there's 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Zach Smith to Curiozzi out. Devon Sampson. Sampson doesn't know how much time's on the clock, and that'll be a pass out to Stemper that does not fall.
He nearly made that one, Jake. That would have been something right as the buzzer was called. 17-12. That's the score at the end of the first quarter here in Guy Games Gymnasium as the Regis Jesuit Raiders face the Grandview Wolves. We'll be back in a moment.
So the technical foul was on Josh Perkins, and during the quarter break, we just saw Josh Perkins apologize to the official about his letting his emotions take control of him. So here's Josh now. Raiders down 5. He's going to dish out to Barilla. Barilla going to march in, take a long floater that does not fall, in and out.
Wow, and Jake, you could really see that shot there is just the perfect example of how we are out-heighted on the court.
Right you are, Tommy, and that was an air ball on Grandview. So we'll see now if the Raiders can finally get some offensive momentum. And really, Tommy, one of the big stories has been the dominance of the Grandview big men up front, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, though, we have been able to drive minus Josh's charge, which, as opposed to Mullen and Cherokee Trail, we had a little bit of trouble getting in down low, but tonight we're certainly able to.
Here's Brian Starkle. Starkle out front to Cadillac. Cadillac driving in. He will get fouled. And very contrasting to Coach Shaw, the Grandview coach, that is Gary Childress, is quite animated on the Grandview bench. He's up. He's throwing his arms around all the time. So different coaching styles, Tommy. They're both very effective.
Yep, that's very true.
7:06 in the second quarter. Cadillac's first free throw is no good. And Tommy, really, free throws are so crucial to especially in a high school basketball game when the games are decided by really small margins. You need to hit them.
Yeah, absolutely. He does make the second, but I cannot agree more, Jake. It's the charity line. You got to take advantage of that. But 1 for 2.
There's Eric Garcia marching in front of us to Imam. Imam to Garcia for 3. Garcia's 3 clangs off the front iron.
That was an aggressive attempt there, Jake. He took that from pretty far out.
We'll see if Josh just throws up a 3. He usually does that every couple minutes, and there it is, and he drains it. Only a 2,
Long
but
2.
a long 2.
That's still good. We'll take that down by 2.
And that was Josh Perkins diving from Starkle, helped up by the referee. The referee giving him a pat on the back. But, Tommy, it's really kind of amazing how big Josh Perkins is as kind of a persona. He's a man that everyone knows. The refs respect him. And it can go both ways, though.
Yeah, when he gets animated, though, that's when he's got to keep his cool.
He commands attention. Here's Garcia at the top of the key. Garcia looking around to Gentry. Gentry inside to Lee. Lee fighting around back to Gentry. Gentry cross court to Brown. That goes out of bounds, tipped by Perkins.
Perkins saw that telegraphed pass, but he just couldn't bring it in. That was close. Usually you see Eric grabbing those pass interceptions, but
yeah, Josh has played with a fire so far tonight, and I think that's in part because he knows most of these kids, Tommy, and he cares a lot about putting on a good show tonight.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3 for 3-pointers, I believe, and that's a pretty good stat for him.
Brown goes up. It is blocked by Barilla. No foul called. Here's Perkins down court, moving around Gentry. Perkins almost falls down. He's guarded hard by Gentry. And that is Grandview ball. Josh Perkins kind of hustled outside by Gentry.
That was a great block there, Jake. Looking at these defenses, you can tell looking at the stats that Grandview is certainly better at blocking than Regis, and that you got to attribute to their height. But Regis is unbeatable at stealing. They are very good.
There's Brown now. Brown inside to Imam. Imam with the floater. Does not fall. He gets his own rebound. He goes up, and he is fouled.
These refs are really involved tonight, Jake.
So that will be a 1-and-1 because it was not a shooting foul on Imam.
A total of 15 fouls now in the first half.
It's been a pretty aggressive game, Tommy.
Yep.
Here's Elijah Sanford about to check in. Imam's first 3 throw is good, so he will get another again. Folks, in high school basketball, it's analogous to college basketball. 7 fouls, you get a 1-and-1. Once you reach 10, you get 2 free throws. 5:27 to go. Grandview up 3, 18-15. Here's Imam. He's a big guy, but he seems to be shooting free throws very well. He nets that.
Yeah, that's something Regis needs to level up in. Their free throws have been less than stellar this season.
Oh, we're being nice too, Tommy. There's Zach Smith. Smith out to Starkle. Starkle to Perkins up top. Perkins, he's debating what to do. Almost loses the ball from Brown, but Brown to Cadillac. I'm not sure who Devin was thrown to. Some miscommunication.
Yeah, good to see Zach playing well, though, tonight. He had an early 3-pointer that was crucial to tie up the game. Good to see him back. He's very aggressive.
Long pass from Perkins to Starkle. And here's Perkins now guarded by Brown. He's taking that straight to the hoop, and he misses the layup.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to get fouled there because he was really weaving in between a few defenders, but no foul and no layup.
You know, that's a really good point, though, because sometimes when you get fouled that much and you're driving in, you just start assuming that you're going to get fouled, so maybe you don't shoot the way you normally would.
Yeah, and that layup he was going for was not exactly his most consistent shot to take, so I'm sure he was hoping to get tagged there.
4:25 to go. Gentry guarded by Cadillac. That is Garcia passing to Brown. Brown to Lee, back to Brown, and he is fouled hard. Oh, excuse me, no, that's a charge on Brown, so it'll be Raider basketball.
Wow, I thought that was a foul on Regis there for a second. But we'll take it. We'll take that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And Tommy, again, Josh Perkins wearing his low-cut shoes. We've seen him wear both the high and the lows, but he seems to like those better. 4:10 to go. in the second quarter. Here's Cadillac, guarded by Gentry to Elijah Sanford. Sanford out to Starkle. Starkle to Zach Smith. Zach Smith to Cadillac. Cadillac guarded by 2 Wolves. To Zach Smith for the 3, wide open. He nets it.
Zach is happy with that one, and the Regis crowd is giving him a hand there. Wow, that was a great one.
Here's Eric Garcia now. Both teams play very well defensively. And there, right now, there's Brown, and he has it stolen from Zach Smith. He was trying to pass it out towards the front, but Zach Smith jumped on that. He will hand that off to Perkins. No look to Smith. He loves doing that, Tommy.
Yeah, he's just got to get the communication down.
And he shoots a long 3. He's not had the best year three-point-wise. And here's Brown coming up court. Perkins rejected by Josh Perkins, but they get the putback.
That was an incredible block there, but he kind of got carried away too quickly, and Grandview puts the layup in.
Another Wolf was following and ready for that. And now Grandview up 3. There's Zach Smith guarded by Lee, and Lee's got no one in front of him. He's taking it up, and he dunks it.
That's a dagger.
That's our first dunk of the year, Tommy. You don't see that often in high school basketball, but he had no one in front of him.
And Coach Shaw is going to call a timeout now. 2:53 left in the second period. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment. Thank you. And we're back here in the second period, 2:53 left. Regis is down by 5.
And Tommy, we just had a dunk from Brandon Cosby Lee, the 6'6 senior. He stole it from Zach Smith and had no one in front of him. Put up the two-handed slam. Our first dunk of the year. Now here's Zach Smith. 2:40 on the clock. Almost stolen by that's Lee, but Perkins gets it, dishes to Elijah Sanford, and it's a 3-point game.
That was so smart of Sanford to just be down there, and Josh saw him the whole time, drew the defenders in, and easy layup.
Gentry, that is Gentry to J.R. Smith. Smith out to Imam. Imam's pass is deflected, and they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds. They're going to say that Brian Starkle was out of bounds before he managed to get that pass.
Yeah, Starkle dove for that and couldn't come up with it. He must have just breezed the line. And as we're watching this inbound, Jake, you can see there's probably 30 people up against the wall because there's so many stuffed in this gym tonight. The bleachers are full.
Right you are, Tommy. We are at capacity at Guy Gibbs Gymnasium. Here's Sanford back to Perkins. Perkins up to Zach Smith. Zach Smith going to find Sanford, and he finds a man to pass to, and he is not there. With the ball is Smith. Smith up, and that's going to be a foul on Sanford.
Yeah, he touched the backboard, I think, as the ball was bobbling in.
Okay.
And I think that's
goaltending.
Goaltending because you move the basket.
No, yeah.
That usually doesn't get called. It didn't last week when a Cherokee Trail player did that.
No, right you are, though, Tommy. That was goaltending, and now the Raiders are down 5. 25-20. There's a three-pointer from Cadillac that goes.
Nearly stole it, and then Cadillac just puts it in. That's great to see. Down by 2, 1.5 minutes left.
There's Gentry for 3. No good. Imam with the rebound to Smith. Smith to Garcia. Out to Gentry again. He had a look at a 3, but will not shoot it. Gentry goes straight in, not called for the charge, still misses the layup, and going for the ball. That'll be Regis Jesuit basketball. Lee could not get it in time.
Somewhat of a flop there by Cadillac. He tried to act that one out. I'm not sure that was a foul. I think the ref saw that one.
A good no call then. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like the NBA where you got fined for that, but,
Yeah.
you know, we don't want to encourage that kind of acting.
Yeah, the refs seem to have calmed down for now, though. Still 16 fouls on the night.
There's Josh Perkins out to Zach Smith. Smith to Cadillac up top. Cadillac driving in. Wow, he got that over their arms.
He banked that jumper, and it was easy because he just put it so high. He had to over those defenders. Good, smart play by him.
We're under a minute in the first half. 45 seconds. Wolves with the ball. That's Devin Brown. Brown in. He's going to throw out to Gentry. Gentry shooting a three. Will not fall. Zach Smith with the ball, and it looks like the Raiders will be able to hold for the final shot, except they go deep. Cadillac for the lay-in, and it goes.
Ooh, and Jake, before that transition, it was almost like the Regis defense let the Grandview players shoot the three-pointer because they've been playing so in and down low. It's almost as if Regis wants them to take it because they're going to miss. It's like they're playing on an inconsistency there. I'm not sure.
8 seconds left. There's a pass into Lee. Lee's shot does not fall, and it looks like the Raiders are battling for the ball, but it will stay. Grandview possession with 2.1 seconds left in the half.
Regis is leading. It's a good sign. We hope they can stay leading into the half.
Some Seven Nation Army being run through the student section right now. Here come the Wolves. It's a pass into Imam. Imam's going to have to. The long two does not fall. Raiders go into the half with a 2-point lead.
Great first half tonight, Jake. The crowds are playing into it for sure, but Regis comes out on top as we finish the first half. Any thoughts, Jake?
Oh, Tommy, I think anytime you can take Grandview into the half leading by 2, that's a job well done. Beautiful job by the Raiders on defense especially. And now we're going to see what Coach Shaw tells the team at halftime. I'm going to toss it over to you and Michael Harpool in a sec. We'll take a quick break before that, but it'll be Steven. Yeah, Steven and Harpool. Someone's going to do halftime. And welcome back, folks, to Guy Gibbs Gymnasium for the start of the second half between the Regis Jesuit Raiders and the number 2 Grandview Wolves. And here's Stemper with the ball. Stemper into Barilla. Barilla under the hoop, and he puts a nice lay-in.
That was pretty good, Jake. He didn't look like he was outsized there.
Eric Garcia with the ball. Pass out to Gentry. Gentry looking. He's going to throw to Lee. Lee to Garcia. Garcia's pretty short, but compared to the rest of the Grandview players, but he's got a pretty good shot tonight. And here's Brown now up top to Imam. Imam's the big post presence down low into Lee, and that will be Raider basketball. Not sure what the call was.
I think it was traveling. Or no, it was a foul. Push.
So the Raiders are up 4 points here at the start of the third quarter. This would be a marquee win for the 2012-2013 Raiders squad. Here's Cadillac now. Cadillac to Perkins. Perkins, he's going to fake the shot, throw out to Starkle. Starkle being teamed up by multiple Wolves. It gets to Stemper somehow, and Stemper with a nice drive.
That was excellent. Eric is an artist.
So now with the ball is Garcia marching up along the left side. He's going to take it in with the long floater. Does not fall. Perkins with the ball. Raiders up 6. Here's Josh. Oh, no look to Barilla. Barilla wasn't ready for it, and his lay-in does not fall. Cadillac gets the rebound, though. Devin to Barilla. Barilla, Brown wasn't looking. Wow. You got to get your head into towards the ball, and there's Perkins.
Ooh.
He tried to do too much there against Gentry, and he's hurt.
He's slow to get up, but he's coming back.
There's Brown with the lay-in. That is good. Josh Perkins seemed to be a little slow. I wonder if he was faking his injury because he looks fine right now.
No, I don't think so. He fell pretty hard, but Jake, Grandview really capitalized on that last transition play, and Regis, who beat Grandview the progression before, couldn't come up with anything, so
right you are, Tommy.
Hope Regis can come up with better transition.
That'll be a foul on Akram Imam, the tallest player on the Wolves roster. Perkins will inbound it up to Cadillac. Cadillac to Perkins down low. Perkins shoots. Oh, so close to falling, but he'll go to the line.
And finally, Josh is fouled. He had driven a few times and missed without drawing the foul, but good to see him get it there. Let's see how these free throws go.
We have 5:59 to go in the third quarter. Raiders up 31-27. Josh has had a pretty good game so far. He's hit 1 3 and a couple long twos, and he drains the first free throw. Really important, Tommy, that the Raiders get these second half free throws to fall. And here's Perkins second. Nothing but net. Raiders up 6 points.
That's a good sign, Jake. They've tripled their lead they had at the half.
Here's Brown on the right side, guarded by Josh. Brown's looking for a man to pass to. He's going to dump it in. And that is a push, it looks like, on a push on Starkle.
And that's another off-the-ball foul there.
So now with the ball is Lee. Lee inside to Brown. Brown loses possession.
Ooh.
But that will be a foul on
Devin.
Brown. Or no, that'll be a foul on Cadillac. So
yep.
Brown will be shooting too.
Devin, it looked like he was getting that ball, but he must have brushed his hand there.
Tommy, at the half, I talked to some people who told me that, like, at almost 100 hopeful spectators had to be turned away because there was no space in this gym. And you look along the side there are like 40 people just sitting on the ground.
Yeah, and even a few reports of trying to sneak people in on the side doors, but those are getting shut down as a few police officers are there watching.
Here's Perkins now. Perkins, he's going to pass out to Stemper for 3. Yes! Oh. Eric Stemper.
Eric Stemper is on tonight. That's another good shot there.
And now here's Garcia. Garcia driving in with the long floater. Does not fall. Perkins fighting for the ball. Brown gets it, though, and Brown is going to go in to Gentry. Gentry under to Lee, and that'll be a foul.
Getting physical in there, Jake. Getting physical in there.
And so far, Tommy, it's been a very impressive 3-point game tonight for the Raiders.
Yeah, even Josh is having a decent game, which having a 22% success rate behind the three-point line.
Tommy, I think we need to qualify that in that a decent game for Josh is an outstanding game for 99% of high school players.
Yes, that's certainly true. He's an excellent player.
And again, folks, over 30 scholarship offers. Randy Perkins, his father, and Josh are going to sit down over the next month and really try to chop that list down to 6 because, as Randy said, it's just getting to a point where he can't keep track of all the schools that want him to play for them in 2 years.
Yeah, he's certainly got a good future ahead of him.
Possibly the first NBA player from Regis?
I hope so. I mean, the way he plays, he's got a lot of potential. I'd say maturity and consistency would be the 2 things that'll really determine whether he has that long of a future with basketball, but he certainly could do it. A lot of potential.
Raiders are up 5. There's Eric Stemper. Stemper's going to take a 3, and he nets it. Eric Stemper on fire.
Eric, he's just poised. Ooh.
And that's Imam trying to receive the long pass. It will stay Wolves' ball, but the Raiders are up 8.
No smile from Eric after that three-pointer. He's serious. This is game time. Up by 8. 4:38 left in this third period.
Checking into the game is Tanner Sampson. Vaughn Sampson. Tanner's at Elon. I saw a cool picture on Tanner's Facebook of the Duke game where with the camera crazies. Tommy, that was a pretty awesome picture.
I agree, Jake. That was pretty incredible as Grandview absolutely drains that three-pointer.
That is Eric Garcia, the 5'11 sharpshooter. Here's Perkins driving in hard. He will get fouled. Josh so good at drawing that shooting foul. 2 more free throws.
Let's see how he can do on the charity line.
Raiders are up 5 right now, but quickly to go back to that, Tanner Sampson and Ryan Winters are some Raider alums that are playing college ball at Elon. And Elon took a trip to Cameron Indoor and got slammed by Duke, but still a cool experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cameron Indoor, for those of you that aren't college basketball fans, is the Palestra that is the home of the Duke Blue Devils, the greatest sports team in the country. And that is Lee getting fouled. Wow, that was a crazy chain of events, but the ball kind of pinballed around there for a sec, but Lee managed to get the ball and was fouled.
8 fouls in this half already.
It's been a pretty aggressive game, I'd say, overall, Tommy. These teams have racked up the fouls. I assume some of the players are going to be getting in foul troubles. And Lee misses the first free throw.
And I agree, Jake, as you were saying, getting into foul trouble. Josh last week, he nearly fouled out, and he had to sit out the third quarter. But he got in the fourth quarter and did pretty well, but did not foul out. It was an issue, though.
So Lee's shot does not fall, but the rebound by Imam does. You got to box out on that.
Yeah, Regis hasn't been excellent tonight when it comes to defensive rebounds.
So that's a foul away from the ball that's called on the Raiders. And that is a foul on, I think, for Regis. They called that on Eric Stemper. I didn't see what happened, but that's a very big turn of events. It gives the Wolves the ball right here.
Yeah, Eric, usually a clean player. I rarely see him get fouled.
With the ball is Garcia. Now Garcia just throws it out of bounds.
Trying to go down low, but
trying to do some of Josh Perkins' trademark passes to no look.
Yeah, he throws bullets, but Grandview cannot mimic his style.
Tommy, it's been a while since Josh has attempted a 3, so I'm calling it on this possession. Here's Stemper now. Stemper, he's going to march around the left side. Taking it in now. Eric Stemper with the beautiful lay-in.
Eric Stemper means business tonight, Jake.
And with respect to the Denver Post, I strongly disagree with their position that the Raiders do not have talent other than Josh Perkins.
Yeah, Eric Stemper is a perfect example. This is his senior year, and he's been a leader on the team. And you can see it tonight. He is playing incredible.
He has earned his stripes as the only starting senior on this squad. And that was a charge called on Imam. And right now I can hear Gary Childress going absurdly bonkers on the refs. He might have gotten a technical or a warning, but he was mouthing off. I could hear it from here. Very animated, livid, and he is lucky that he did not get a technical foul.
Yeah, geez, and you can start to hear the crowds getting a little back and forth as Regis takes
Ooh, what a lay-in by Elijah Sanford.
Wow.
A reverse behind the back, and there's a timeout now by Gary Childress. The Raiders are up 9 with 2:58 to go in the third quarter.
And Eric Stemper has certainly been the star of this third quarter. He came out strong, and he's put up a few three-pointers, driven in, and he's doing great tonight.
We're going to take a quick break here on RJ Leave and pick back up.
And we're back here on Regis Jesuit Live. Talked to Michael Harpole during the half, and he was one of the big announcers for our radio here. So it was good catching up with him, and his brother is in town, Thomas Harpole, who actually started the program. So good to see the alumni coming back and supporting our club here. Thanks again for tuning in tonight.
And the Harpoles really kicked off. They did start our club. I think almost 5 or 6 years ago, Thomas started broadcasting basketball games just without video feed, and we've expanded exponentially since then. But it's an awesome to be part of this. And with the steal is Zach Smith. Zach marching up court. He's going to throw to Josh. Josh guarded by... That is J.R. Smith, and there, I thought he was going to take the shot, but he's going to throw it to Elijah Sanford, and I think that is a foul on number 11.
Weeks.
2:33 to go in the third quarter.
Blake Weeks.
So Stemper's going to inbound. Imam will be subbed out of the game. That's a big presence that Grandview loses. And Stemper now going to throw to Josh. Josh is going to pass it to Sanford, who has no one on him.
Oh, man. Stanford was all over that one, Jake.
Raiders up 11. There's Garcia now trying to set up the offense. Grandview's explosive offense has not found much light today with three-point shot rings in and out. Now
Sanford with the big rebound there.
Cadillac with Perkins now. We'll see if Perkins throws one up. And he does.
Long two. Can't go in.
Here's Garcia now. Garcia going to pass it to big number 14, Aaron Montgomery. Back to Garcia for three, and that clangs off the front iron. Oh, beautiful touch by... Oh, and he dunks it down. Beautiful
goodness.
Pass by Eric Stemper to Josh Perkins with the one-handed slam.
Oh, my gosh. Eric just launched it over to Josh, and Josh didn't think twice. Nails it.
He was waiting for that all season long, and he finally got his opportunity. A beautiful pass by Eric Stemper.
And that's going to be Regis ball. There's a foul on number 3, J.R. Smith. Going to go Regis direction here. Smith is Not happy with that call. He's talking to the referee there.
The Wolves need to do a better job of controlling their motions, Tommy, because they are hounding the referees, and I wouldn't be surprised soon if they get a little, get a technical foul with their disrespect. Josh Perkins taking the ball up. Raiders up 13 points, 1:25 to go.
A correction, I misspoke. It was Eric Garcia with the foul there. Excuse me.
Well, thank you, Tommy, for your accuracy. 1:22 to go in the third quarter, and it looks like Stemper will get a 1-1. But, Tommy, right now Grandview is in danger of letting this game get away from them. The Raiders are up 13 points right now, and if they don't cut this deficit soon, they won't have enough time because of how good the Raider offense is at killing clock.
Yeah, the Wolves are going to have to come up with some steals and some good transition plays because Regis is trying to slow it down. There was one play where Zach got it, and he could have gone for a layup or tried something a little aggressive, but he slowed down just to keep it calm, keep the rhythm going, and I think Regis is certainly commanding the court right now.
So Stemper is perfect on that set, and now that is a blocking foul on Starkel. But the Raiders are up 15 points here with 1:12 remaining in the third.
George Curiozzi coming in now for Zach Smith.
So George Curiozzi looking to check in soon. The shot by Brown falls. So now the lead is 14 for the Regis Jesuit Raiders. George Curiozzi really, I talked to him before the season, Tommy, and he told me that he really didn't think he was going to play ever. But he's actually, gotten some minutes in most of the games we've covered this season.
Yeah, I mean, not quite as much as senior Eric Stemper, but more significantly than Tim Przybylowski. He has been a leader on the court. He played earlier in the first quarter tonight, and he is certainly a leader on the team.
Here's Josh Perkins marching up court. No look to Curiozzi. George doesn't like to shoot, though. Now here's Stemper on the corner. Stemper going to take that in. Pass outside to Curiozzi. Curiozzi driving in out to Stemper. Stemper now going to push out. That's Starkel. Starkel's shot just misses, but Curiozzi gets the rebound, and that's a push on number 25, Jamison Cusworth, Raider basketball. And Curiozzi will be going to the line, Tommy, a chance to score some points.
16 fouls in the second half right now. I believe we are over 30 fouls on the night. So very physical out there. And Cam Beards is coming in now. Or at least he's waiting to.
The Raiders are up 14 points. And, yes, there's Cam Beards, Josh's sophomore brother. And it seems like there was some sort of loose ball push because now Grandview's going to the line. I have no idea what happened, Tommy.
Yeah, I didn't really catch that one, Jake, but we'll see how he can do.
We have 48.6 seconds left. Cam Beards is not a tall kid. He is listed on the depth chart at 5'6". He's not 5'6", but still, he brings a lot of versatility to the table. He's extremely quick. And the 1-and-1 is missed by the Wolves, but they get the rebound.
Yeah, Cam does a great job in charge of the offense and defense. We saw him last week against Cherokee Trail, and he did a great job when Josh couldn't play because of foul trouble. So good call by Coach putting him in right now to burn some clock, rest Josh, and take advantage of the lead Regis has right now.
And that shot goes out of bounds. Steven Snyder telling me that he knows that Cam Beards is actually 5'0", so that's an error on the depth chart. Or sometimes they like to just estimate up. But here's Cam now, making some men miss. There's Starkel to Stemper. The Raiders are not a big basketball team, but you don't need size, as proved by the first 3 quarters. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the third. Raiders up 51-37. Here's Cam Beards guarded by Brown. Brown out to Starkel. Oh, that's almost stolen, but it goes out of bounds. And there are 3.6 seconds left, so we'll see what the Raiders set up here. Inbounds to Beards. Beards doesn't have a lot of time. He's going to do a floater, and he did travel. So Grandview only has 0.2 seconds left.
Cam was trying to get that buzzer beater in. That would have been something.
Gentry, I really don't think they can do anything.
Yeah, they're just going to. Yeah.
Just going to do that for fun. Off the rim, but it wouldn't have counted.
Well, Jake, Regis is up 14 points at the end of the third quarter. They were only up by 2 points at the half, so quite a statement they made just there. And we'll be back in the fourth quarter to conclude this matchup here in Guy Games Gymnasium. And we're back here in the fourth quarter. Regis Jesuit up 14 points on the Grandview Wolves.
8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's the entire time.
Yes, it is, Jake.
Quarter's 8 minutes, but here's Sanford fighting for it, and the Raiders take that offensive board to Cam Beards for the lay-in. Yes, Cam Beards all of 5 feet getting the lay-in.
Great job by Cam. Unfortunate he couldn't come up with a dunk there, Jake, just like his brother Josh, but nonetheless, great layup.
I believe that Earl Boykins could dunk, so, you know, I'd give him 2 more years. Oh, and that's an and one. Eric Garcia.
That was a good athletic play there. Regis couldn't really stop him cleanly.
So right now the Raiders are at 14 points, Tommy, and I think this is about the time where they really need to slow down their offensive possessions, really take their time to get set up, wait for Grandview to pressure them.
Yeah, they've been going at their own pace so far tonight, but if Grandview does have a comeback, we'll have quite a show. We did last week when it went to overtime against Cherokee Trail, and that was a great matchup. Regis did come up with the win.
Here's Josh to Starkle, back to Josh. Josh along the left to Zach Smith. Here's Josh, guarded by Gentry and Imam. He's going to pass to Zach Smith, to Cam Beards, to Starkle. Starkle had a moment, but he fumbled the ball slightly, so he couldn't take a shot. There's Elijah Sanford with the ball now, and the Raiders doing a good job taking their time. Sanford going up, and he is fouled.
That's a great play there. Sanford's pretty good behind the line.
So Sanford will be shooting 2. Both teams are in the double bonus now. So as of now, any foul will result in 2 free throws.
Yeah, I think there's over 30 fouls on tonight. That's quite a few. An interesting move by Coach Shaw to keep Cam in with Josh Perkins and have Eric sit out. I wonder if Eric's getting a little tired. He's been hustling tonight.
The first shot is drained by Sanford. Sanford has a high arcing free throw, but it's very effective. 2 for 2. Raiders up 15 points.
And the biggest way you can feel that we're up 15 points is by hearing the crowds, or lack thereof, on Grandview's side.
And a steal by Cam Beards, assisting to Zach Smith. Raiders up 17 points. This game is almost out of hand for the Wolves. With the ball now is Jared Burr. Burr to Garcia. Garcia's going to pass to Gentry. Gentry taking it in. He's going to throw a lob that falls. Still a 15-point Raider advantage. Josh Perkins, long pass to Zach Smith. Zach Smith with the lay-in.
That's 2 in a row for Zach on the transition play. Oh, and an interesting move by Jerry Childress, the Grandview coach. He hasn't called many timeouts, so This will be an interesting play by him. So we'll take a break here, and we'll be back in a few. And as I was saying, Gary Childress, the Grandview coach, hasn't called many timeouts like most coaches would. He, to be honest, Jake, he reminds me of Phil Jackson when he coached the championship bowls. He would let his players play through adversity. So he did call a timeout there, but for the most part, Jake, he's let the players do their own thing.
What an astute comment, Tommy. That was, wow.
Thank you,
Tidbits
Jake.
like that, just, where did you think of that? I don't know. Here's Brown now marching up court. 6:10 to go. Brown is going to look to throw it down low. Oh, and it's picked off by Barilla. That was number 25. They're putting in the reserves. Cusworth had to throw it. And Perkins making a break for the hoop. Too easy.
That was simple. He just turned and drove, Jake. Turned and drove.
Courtesy of NBA Live 2008. With Tommy's comment. Steven Snyder wanted me to say that. Raiders up 19 points, Tommy. This is really a huge statement by the Raiders so far. If they can...
If we can come up with the win, especially with this amount of lead, or this great of a lead, if we can continue this will be quite the upset.
Here's Josh Perkins now. Perkins driving inside. He loses the ball.
Stumbled there.
And these are all the Grandview reserves, though. This is Blake Weeks. So interesting decision by Gary Childress to take his starters out. That three rings around, but does not fall. A bounce pass by Perkins to Zach Smith. Back to Perkins. Perkins setting up the play. Going to bark out the signal. Out to Zach Smith. Smith to Cam Beards. Beards to Cadillac. Cadillac back to Perkins. Less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's Zach Smith with the ball now. Barilla. Barilla's going to pass out to Beards, and that's a push on, let's see who it is, 11 for the Wolves. Blake Weeks. Zach Smith will be shooting two.
And Jake, I got to wonder what the Grandview coach is thinking, not playing the majority of his starters who have done pretty well tonight. He's got to be making a statement to them, just letting them know, hey, we're down and something's not working and we got to fix it. So hopefully the Grandview starters can get back in. That's probably their only chance of overcoming the Regis Jesuit, the deficit Regis Jesuit has on them.
Smith's first free throw does not fall, nor does the second. So the Raiders miss a good opportunity to pad on to their margin of lead right now. Brown with the ball. He's going to throw into Weeks, and that's a push on Cadillac. So shooting two for the Wolves will be Blake Weeks. And I'm just going to predict, Tommy, that I don't think Blake Weeks shoots a lot of free throws. So I'm going to say he misses both of these.
I don't know, Jake.
Okay.
All right.
I'm half right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, right now, let's see. Let's pull up Blake Weeks' season stats. He's averaging 0.3 points per game. Here's his second free throw.
Ooh.
Okay, so
pressure.
maybe I'm mean, but I was right.
Yeah.
Here's Cadillac now. Up court. He's shooting a three. Devin Cadillac with the three.
Wow. That was taken with confidence, Jake.
Oh, that was a long two.
Ah.
I don't understand why you would take that shot for 2 points, but and that is a hold on. Let's see who it's on. They're just calling fouls now. That's a foul on Zach Smith. It's the 24th foul this half.
Whoa. Jeez, that is a lot. These refs aren't really letting the players play, Jake.
Here's Blake Weeks again at the line, and he hits it. And, yes, it is kind of like, for you diehard Raider sports fanatics, similar to the Regis Jesuit Mullen football game where both the teams were just smashing each other. There's Dugan Ty walking across the sideline. Shout out to Dugan, our Model United Nations team, getting ready for our trip to Washington, D.C., Tommy.
Yep, it should be a blast. And Jake, you bring up a good point with the volume of fouls that have been called tonight, but I have to say the referees are calling them pretty evenly. Not really one-sided tonight, Jake, which is good.
Barilla airballs the three. A quick three by Garcia. Nope, and that rolls out of bounds off of Grandview.
Regis ball there.
The Grandview players look lost, and I just want, to maybe to bottle up the environment right now. Barilla missed that three-pointer. He aired it, and the Grandview students didn't say anything. You know you're demoralized when you don't even make fun of an air ball.
Yeah. Oh, and he makes up for it there with a great layup.
The Raiders are up 22 points right now, 3:43 to go. I'd say Regis is in phenomenal position. The Raiders have really come to play today, and with the steal almost is Cam Beards. .339 to go. Inbounding the ball will be Brown. Regis Jesuit up 22. Tommy, with this win, the Raiders will move to 7-3 and most likely be back in the top 10. There's a block by Josh Perkins.
That amounts to an air ball, Jake.
Here's Perkins now. We'll see if he just shoots a three. I think he wants another one. There's Barilla now.
Between Josh and Cam, I can't really tell who's leading the offense right now.
That's a technical foul on Josh Perkins. I think that's his second technical foul, Tommy.
Oh my goodness! I don't even know what that was on. He must have been getting a little wordy.
Perkins raised the elbows and I think popped number 14 for Grandview. So
I'm not sure that was deliberate.
No,
though.
Is that Josh's technical? Is that his second technical foul? Because
it is.
If it is, I think you get suspended. Like I actually am pretty sure there's some repercussions for having two.
Oh man, and Shaw is contesting this one.
Oh, Shaw's standing up for a superstar. So we'll see.
They called a technical, but there were not the free throws.
Consensus is that it was a technical. Josh needs to be a little more careful with those. There's a flow pass by Brown. Banked it. And the Raiders are now up by 20. Long pass to Cadillac. Cadillac will pass to Perkins. Perkins going to take this in. A beautiful drive.
And that's his response to the technical foul. Wow.
Raiders up 22, under 3 minutes to go. There's a pass into Lee. Lee is going to take the turnaround jumper. No good. Out to Brown. Brown, no one's on him. He still misses the three. Josh Perkins will inbound this ball. Tim Przemysłowski checking into the game.
Oh, good job for Tim. He's a crowd favorite for sure.
2:47 to go. Regis Jesuit up 22. Always great to when everyone can play. Josh is going to be double teamed up to Tim Przemysłowski. Tim out to Barilla. Barilla's really earned himself a lot of playing time in recent games. Here's Perkins with a tough drive to the lane, but Barilla's there for the putback.
Great job by Barilla. And Jake, I cannot agree more. Barilla's been showing off these last few games, and I think his best part of his game is how he is off the ball. His hustle down the court and his defensive play is nearly impeccable.
Josh Perkins just got slammed Josh Perkins just rejected Tanner Gentry. But right now, Tommy, Regis Jesuit will be moving to 7-3, and this is a very promising sign that maybe the team's finally getting some mojo, understanding how to play with each other successfully.
Yeah, I agree, Jake. The last 3 seasons that we've followed the Raiders in basketball, they have started out a little slow as the season began, but they do get in the rhythm, and we certainly have seen it the last 3 weeks, beating Mullen, beating Cherokee Trail, and in 2 minutes beating Grandview, ranked number 2 in the state.
So the Imam goes 1 for 2 from the line. It will be Wolves basketball. Inbounding will be Jared Burr.
All 3 seniors are on the court, George, Tim, and Eric.
Some senior love. Kiriazi contesting the shot from Imam, but it does fall. Raiders up 21. Here's George, guarded by Lee, giving it to Stemper. Josh Perkins checks out of the game. He received a loud ovation. Here's Stemper now to Beards. Beards to Kiriazi. I imagine the Raiders are just going to drain this clock now. Barilla is going to take it in outside to Kiriazi. Stemper, Przemyslowski. Przemyslowski to Barilla. Barilla is going to hand it off to Cam Beards, and Cam Beards to Kiriazi. I want George to shoot, Tommy.
Yeah, I want Tim to shoot. He's a good shooter, but he just never gets the chance.
Here's Barilla. I guess Grandview's not going to foul, so
no.
we're at 1:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Raiders up 21. Inbound, there's Barilla to Przemyslowski.
Shoot it, Tim.
Tim for 3.
Oh!
And Tim hits the three-pointer.
Great job, Tim, and he's got a little grin. That's great.
Oh, man.
72 to 48.
I just feel like I'm watching Rudy now, Tommy. Like, that was scripted. And the 2-shot from the Wolves.
Finally,
Imam gets that in. But could you script that any better?
No.
Tim Przemyslowski coming in for 1 shot, draining a 3. Here's Kiriazi now.
Tim with the trifecta.
There's back to Stemper. To Cam Beards.
40 seconds.
Here's Barilla. Barilla taking it. He gets SWAT teamed.
Oh, I'm surprised that was not a foul.
But
It came from behind pretty hard.
Hit hard. Raiders will keep the ball. 37.9 seconds left.
Oh, man.
And Carlson checking into the game. Tommy, Carlson actually played more in the prior games. So
yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and I'm shocked that he actually got in after Tim, but because he played pretty well, and he's a good team with Barilla and Starkle.
And right now we have a pretty good overrated chant getting started in the student section. Again, Grandview ranked number 2 on Max Preps in the state of Colorado, so this is quite a statement that the Raiders have made here tonight.
20 seconds left, and they haven't started fouling.
Oh, no, Grandview's conceding this. Grandview has their reserves, and Przemyslowski to Beards. Beards to Barilla. It's just some pass around now. Kiriazi, 6 seconds left. He's not going to shoot it. That wouldn't be sportsmanlike. But from Aurora, Colorado, the Raiders pull off an incredible upset of the number 2 Grandview Wolves. Regis Jesuits 72 to 50.
What a great game we witnessed here, Jake. Regis came out. They were the underdogs, but they played at home against a close opponent, Grandview being maybe 5 minutes away, Jake. And Regis comes up with the upset, leading only by 2 at the half. And wow, 22 points. That's a decisive victory, Jake. So great showing by the Raiders.
Team turned it on in the second half, outscoring the Wolves 20 points. And Tommy, my player of the game has to be none other than Eric Stemper. Stepped up in a huge way tonight, draining several three-pointers, some beautiful drives to the bucket, and setting up the pass. He passed the ball to Josh, where Josh had his one-handed slam.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to agree with you there, Jake. Eric played fantastic tonight. He was stellar. And shout out to Tim, not getting to play very much, but draining that three-pointer. That's got to be a confidence booster for him. And hopefully Coach will see that Tim is a good shooter, and maybe Tim will get some more time. But great game tonight. No overtime. Decisive victory. That's what I like to hear, Jake.
A wonderful performance by the Raiders. So that'll be it for us. On behalf of our cameraman
and our producer, Steven Schneider, I was on color, and thank you, Jake, for your play-by-play performance.
Oh, there's Scott right there. I guess we didn't have a stats guy, so we apologize for not having stats. But all right, guys, have a great night, everyone. Our next game will be next Friday. I think it's here. It's a home game next Friday. I'm not sure who it's against, but the Raiders will be 7-3, probably back in the top 10. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in.